We're now joined by Brian Metris and Quentin James of Lake Braddock High School. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. And Coach, got to start off with, I think, the question on most fans' mind. You lose James Butler from last year's team, such a good player. How have you and the Bruins tried to move on without that kind of stud there in the middle?
Well, I think in high school basketball, the one thing you have to do is you have to play with the players you have. And so what we've done is tried to come up with a system of playing basketball, which involves not having a dominant center. And James was a great player for us for 4 years, but you know, as you walk through the halls of Lake Braddock, you realize you got a lot of different types of basketball players, and it's our job to kind of weave them into a good unit. So last year we were a center-based offense, and this year we're more of a perimeter-based offense.
And of course, the guy next to you, part of that, along with Corey Pelham. Quentin, how do you like the fact that maybe it's going to be a little more guard-oriented this year, may fit a little more to your skill set?
It definitely is an adjustment coming from having a player like James Butler being the main guy to transitioning to perimeter-based offense. It definitely is just a transition, but I like it a lot. So, yeah, just getting used to it.
I'm sure you do. We'll have more with Coach Metris and Quentin coming up right after this.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to an all-new season of Top Plays here at AllMetSports.com and WashingtonPost.com. I'm BJ Kubarulis. All right, like the previous 3 seasons, we're continuing our exciting interactive high school basketball show, a show that allows you, parents, coaches, players, and fans, to send in your video submissions for ranking in our Top 10 style weekly show. Each week, we'll reveal the latest highlights, dunks, sweet assists, and bizarre happenings from across the region. All you gotta do is tweet me the link. I'm at BJKoob, and remember, you gotta hashtag it AllMets. You can send in your Huddle, YouTube, Vimeo, really any video link, and we'll consider it for use in the upcoming episode of Top Plays. Remember to tune in every Monday to see if your video made it at AllMetSports.com. We'll see you soon.
Back with Brian Metris and Quentin James from Lake Braddock High School. Coach, back to you. Don't want you to give away too many secrets on what you guys are doing this year, but you played some games. What should folks look for in kind of the changes that they might see from last year's Lake Braddock team to this year's Lake Braddock team?
Well, I think last year's team, we were pretty committed to throwing the ball inside. You know, most of our offense involved throwing the ball down low and getting guys moving. And I think now, as the ball is coming up the court, we have more guys moving before we throw the ball inside. So a little bit more cutting, a little bit more screening, a little bit more pass and move, and trying to get the other team involved in the pace of the game that we really want to play, which is high pace, quick cutting, lots of movement.
And it's funny, I remember doing some of your games in the past. It seemed like you guys were more of an up-tempo team. Obviously, like you said, you play to the players you have, but is there a party that likes kind of getting a chance to go back a little more up-tempo?
Oh, that's what we prefer to play. You know, we prefer to play. I mean, sometimes you make shots, sometimes you don't make shots, but I mean, you know, we want to play offense and defense, and we tell our guys all the time it should be just one possession. Full court offense, full court defense, and just, you know, play free-flowing kind of style of basketball. I think you shoot better and you play more confidently when you know that, hey, there's going to be a lot of shots in the game, and if I miss one or two, I'm still going to have a chance to make a couple shots later on.
Quentin, back over to you, playing alongside Corey. You know, how do your skill sets fit together?
Well, they definitely fit together. I feel just having someone to be able to stretch the defense out, knowing that if I drive, I can kick it out to Corey for a wide open 3. It helps a lot. Just to know that if I'm not playing as well, that he'll be able to pick it up and vice versa.
Always good to have those two different guys can do the shooter and the driver. Always works out well for a team. Coach, back to you. Obviously, Conference 7 has been one of the tighter conferences over the years. A lot of really good teams. A lot of teams can give each other challenges. Talk a bit about the competition for you guys in Conference 7 and how everybody stacks up.
Well, I mean, every night it's incredible. I mean, we looked at our schedule this year, and our first 2 conference games before the Christmas holidays are Woodson at Woodson and TC at TC. Well, that's some week. That's some week. But it doesn't get any easier. I mean, then all of a sudden you're going to be playing, you know, maybe West Potomac at home, and then maybe you're playing a South County on the road. So every week, it doesn't matter which way you pair it up, extremely difficult. In our league, 8, I think, beat 1 last year, or, you know, 8 beat 2. And I think in the last 3 to 5 years, our 2 and 3 seed have lost in the first round of the district play. So in our league, if you're the 2 seed or the 3 seed, you know, going into the conference tournament, your chances of advancing are 50-50. So 1 to 8, extremely, and what I think is really great about our league is on the road, it's a really great environment to try to steal a victory because everybody has great crowds. When we go to Woodson, or we go to West Potomac, we go to South County, you know, we definitely feel like we're the away team. Very, very staunch support from schools on the road.
Always makes it fun, and we'll go ahead and wrap it up with you, Quentin. You look at this program, of course, Coach Mitras has been around for a little bit. There is a tradition when it comes to Lake Braddock basketball. What have you been able to take from some of the guys before you in this program as you move along as now a leader of this team?
This has been so much. From James, I managed the team my middle school days, just being around the environment of practice and everything. I just learned so much about just being able to handle the crowds, being able to handle pressure from other teams, just everything within the game really that is higher than like AAU middle school basketball level. I've learned a lot from Coach Mitras, as well as older players like AJ, James Butler, Corey even, so it's just been a big help.
A tradition that goes back a good bit. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Again, you can stay up to date on high school basketball in the DMV by checking out the Prep Zone every week on DMVSTREAM.COM.